Uh, equipment. Sometimes technical difficulties happen, and that's what happened today. That's why we are 25 minutes late. I apologize, people. It's not Mav's fault. Just something's going on with his computer, and he's not at his regular desk today, at his regular computer. He's on another that works just fine, and I don't know why this one works, but the other one doesn't. So all his equipment, all his microphones, everything, that great sound that he's got going on will not be present here today, and I apologize for that. But I've got Mav here from Fun Speculation. Mav, how's it going, man?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. I wish I wasn't causing you to be over 20
Oh,
minutes
it's
late,
not you,
you
man.
know.
It's, again,
But
technical difficulties happen, man.
yeah,
And you're like trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure this out. We couldn't get it going, guys. But yeah, how have you been, man?
been through it before, man. It's like I always like, oh, no, what's going on? This has never happened before. But
Yeah.
other than that, doing great, man. We've had a awesome, crazy last few days, dude. We had Psychonauts came to town.
Oh,
3-bit came to
really?
town. Yeah, so we got to hang out, and
Wow.
we just had our 100th episode of Xbox Ultimate on Friday.
Yeah. Again, tell
Um,
everybody, who they are. Like, these are panel members.
yeah, so I've known them for almost 2 years now. Good buddy Psychonauts is on our panel for
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Ultimate, and yeah, FSP, and then we got 3-bit as well. So he's the same, you know,
I'm hearing a bit of
and
feedback, like echo coming back,
I'm hearing that too. I don't know where
like
it's
a
coming from.
delay. Sorry, folks. This is going to be a real technical, difficult show. Yeah, we're not big tech guys, Mav and I. That's for sure. But I'm sure Mav probably knows more than I do. But hey, we're going to try to make a go of it. I don't hear you at all now, so you are silent. So
I think we figured it out. Is that better?
go ahead.
Test, 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 test,
It's
test.
a little better. It's a little better. It's at least not going on and on and on behind you while you're talking. So
I
it's
don't know what the
Gremlins.
heck's
That's
going
right.
on.
AMCA68 in the chat says Gremlins. That's it. It's Gremlins. And it's good to see
Yeah,
everybody in the chat. Boba Fett
Yeah.
Gaming, Hargeet Shani,
buddy.
Caitlin, it's Timmy. We got A2, UK Lad, Falcon X. A lot of great people in the house. Ashtray Gaming. I saw him earlier. Ducato. But yeah, you were saying that these people are panel members, Psychonauts, 3-bit.
Yeah, 3-bit. Yeah, we
And
know each other for almost 2 years now, doing all of our shows and stuff, and
yeah,
it's become family. You know how it is. You get to know somebody for so long, right? It just becomes family. They're like brothers,
yeah.
and get to meet them for the first time in person.
How was
It
that?
was crazy.
How was it though?
Amazing. They're exactly the same as you would anticipate, right?
Well,
Like it's like, are these people actually the same in real life as they seem? But they're exactly the same. It's just
yeah,
a physical manifestation of the person I've been talking to for 2 years. It's
yeah.
been pretty crazy, man. It's been a blast though, dude. Psycho's, I just dropped him off at the airport, so he's back to board the plane, going back home to Florida.
That must be an awesome feeling. Like, you've
Yeah.
known these guys for a couple of years. You've been doing shows, 100 episodes. Congrats on that on Xbox Ultimate. That's one of the shows you do there. Fun
Yeah,
Speculation.
it's our first show. Yeah. So we did that, started it, and then it kind of grew into the panel, that we have, and it's been amazing 2 years, man. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fun. This community is amazing. A lot of people that help you along the way, including you, Fonz, help me with audio stuff and just advice and things like that too.
Yeah, you
You
wouldn't
know
know
what
it
I mean?
today, damn it.
You
Like,
wouldn't know it
God,
today. I
man. Yeah.
blame you, Fonz. That is
Yeah,
probably
blame my program, man. Blame my program. It is a Mac-based program, so I
yeah.
apologize. But yeah, it's good to see everybody in the chat, and I that's one thing I really want to do more of is meet with like people from the community, people that I've been friends with for so long, for years now.
Mhm.
I've met Colt Eastwood,
Yeah.
great guy, same guy in person. Awesome. We had a great time. His family, my family, we all hung out at In-N-Out Burgers, one night, and
Yeah.
it was a
Nice.
lot of fun. But I want to meet the other guys. I want to meet Dealer Gaming. I want to meet, Zocker. And Zocker, funny part about this is, Zocker, I'm talking to you. You live like 25 minutes away, and you still refuse to meet up. Like, I don't know. There's always an
Yeah.
issue, right? can't do it.
I got like a list of the people that live in the area here, and I still haven't met them. Like Fork Boy from Game Beyond the Box, and
Yeah.
Forky. He was on that show for a long time. We got the Blue, who lives around here. Dark CMF
Awesome
lives
people.
close to me too. And like eventually gonna hook up with all these guys too, man. It's pretty awesome to be able to have that. Speaking of In and Out though, Fonz, Psychonauts got to just have his first In and Out burger on the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he liked
it. He liked it.
Yeah, he liked it. We're both not crazy about
okay.
the fries.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this much: In and Out, it's a tad bit overrated. I will say that. And I'm a West Coast boy. I've been here for years, and In and Out has been our main staple. When it comes to burgers, the franchises. But man, I just personally wouldn't wait in a long ass line for that. That's just
there
me.
was a long ass line for sure.
Yeah, that's just me. There's better burgers out there for sure.
The price is good.
The price is decent. Yeah. The fries not so good.
No,
the fries,
I don't know what they are, man. Those are like pieces of cardboard.
No. They are real potatoes. They cut them up right there, cook them. I know people that work there, really fresh, and they're good when you get them really fresh. If you eat them right out of the fryer, they're good. They're great. As soon as they start getting cold, horrible.
Yeah.
This is not Burger Talk, by the way, people. This is Games Talk Live. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, the episode 5, I believe, of season 2. I've got Mav here from Fun Speculation. We're just chit-chatting here about what's been going on with him and having people over from his shows and stuff. That's a really cool thing. I like to see the community come together in that way.
Yeah.
It's really cool. This community is awesome. Just like all the awesome people in this chat. Amazing. Thank you very much for, showing up today, being here and, just waiting for us for 25 minutes. That's awesome. Brigadier's Blue sends a super chat. He says, another week means another episode of GTL. Love to see it. Thank you very much, Brigadier's Blue. And we have a good show for you today. I promise. This is my birthday weekend. It was my birthday Friday, so I consider it my birthday all weekend. Dang it.
Yeah, happy birthday again, Fonz. I said it to you
you did.
on Twitter, but it's a you're in like your mid 40s?
I'm in my late 40s. So I'm 47. I'm not one of those people that are like shies away from telling their age. I'm not going to tell my age,
You ask some people that, and it's like, you get like, no, I don't want to tell you. And like, okay, sorry, But
no, I'm old. I know that.
I think you and Pong Soul are the same age.
Yeah. Shout out to Pong, by the way. PM in the PM, doing very well as well. You guys are doing that show. How long have you been doing that now?
We just had our 36th episode of that one. That's that one's a
bit.
little newer than Ultimate, because Ultimate we've 100 and we're like 36 on that, and we have another show called FSP. We're in the late 20s, early 30s on, I think. Yeah. So
shout out to all the old heads in the house. They're all saying, "Yeah, I'm 47 too." Yeah, that's great to hear. Right. Yeah. I look, my demographics here. I spoke about it with Jaffe when he was on. It's the retirement homes. Okay. That's who watches me. All right. So it's the old folks. And I see them all in the chat, all you old folks out there. And it's great to have you. But remember, dinner's at 4 and be in bed by 5, Hargeet Shani. Buddy, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. He says, happy belated birthday. Here's 100 spot, right? Thank you, man. Amazing.
Great, man.
Hargeet, you know what? He's been throwing out so many codes in the last 6 months. That man has done so much for this community. Not only codes, super chats and stuff, but codes, game codes. That's really important, I think. And the fact that he's given so many people joy, gaming, games, amazing. That honestly, that's so awesome, man. That's so awesome, Hargeet. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now let's move on a bit. We're late. So I think we ought to get into some 5 questions here. We got to play a game. I don't know if you're necessarily ready for that, but
I did okay last time, but I don't know.
You did. Yeah.
I don't know how we'll do. I don't think I can live up to it again. We'll see.
Oh, come on. You could do it. So let's go ahead.
Shall we play a game?
Let's play a game.
5 questions. Yeah, I'm the little troll here, you know, on the side. 5 questions, 4 trivia, 1 subjective, of course. Some people ask, why do you do the subjective? Well, it's because I get more out of the guests that way. It's an extra question to ask them without just asking it just traditionally. It's in a game, and I don't know. I find it kind of fun. So, anyways, we are now here on 5 questions, and we've got the intense music in the background. You hear it? All right.
It's very intimidating.
I wanted it to be kind of intimidating. Can't even talk right now. Here's question number 1. Who voices Batman in the Batman Arkham series? Pretty easy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, come on, man.
Who voices them in the Arkham games?
Yep.
I used to know this, but I haven't played the games in so long. I feel like I've forgotten this, man. Oh, this is going to be. Is it Kevin Conroy?
Correct, sir. See, not bad. Number 2, here it goes. Multiverses is a fighting game many compared to Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo. Can you tell me the platform Smash Brothers started on?
Oh, dude. Super Nintendo? Is that too early? 64?
Yeah, it was N64. N64. All right, number 3. Which video game shattered the record for most sales in its first 24 hours, making over $800 million? Is it GTA 5, FIFA 18, or Call of Duty Black Ops?
I'm going to say GTA 5.
Correct, sir. 800 million in the first 24 hours. That's insane. That's insane. And that, folks,
how many copies have they sold now? Like 150 or something like that?
Oh, it's crazy. And get this, that's GTA 5 at $60 a pop. And you know what? God, I'm not going to get into the $70 gaming thing, but anyway, they do make their money, folks, off of these games very easily. Anyways, number 4. What is the best-selling arcade cabinet of all time? Is it NBA Jam, Pac-Man, Street Fighter 2, Championship Edition, or Mortal Kombat?
Oh, geez.
NBA Jam, Pac-Man, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, or Mortal Kombat?
I mean, I want to say Pac-Man. You know what I mean? But that was like real early days. But the arcades were at their height, so Pac-Man.
Nope. You got it right, brother. Pac-Man, you did really well. You got 1 wrong there out of 4. Here is your subjective question. Who is your favorite developer and why?
Okay. This is a tough one because some that used to be my favorite, maybe not my favorite anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say Rockstar. They've been absent for so long with anything new, but those Red Dead Redemption games, for me,
he knows what he's doing, folks. He spoke to my heart.
Red Dead Redemption is like pinnacle of gaming.
It's almost perfection, right? I mean, it's got its control issues, you know, but honestly, such a great game.
The story's so good, dude.
So good. I loved his answers. Look at that. You did well again today. 4
I
out of 5.
Debating a 64 or SNES for the Smash Bros, but I'm not a big Smash guy. I remember playing it on the 64, but I didn't remember if there was like one before that. But I should have known because it's like not as like was there 4 players on the SNES?
Yeah, I believe so, and it came out in 1999. So on the N64. But good. There was no controversy today. Last week, there was some controversy over an answer. Basically, I looked at it, and you guys were right. It was COD. So shout out to you guys who were telling me that in the chat. But yeah, I had an outdated list, apparently, that was on Google that, was telling me what the best-selling first-person shooter was. And so it was outdated, I guess. Shame on me for not doing any more, like, digging into that situation beforehand. So I am going to try to do better with these questions, make sure they are right 100%, because I do not want to get people in the chat mad at me. And I don't want people to get it wrong on the show either. Even though Gaz still got that question wrong, regardless if it was COD or not. He chose Doom or something, best-selling first-person shooter. Anyways, we are moving on from that, and we are going to talk about our first topic here. All right, so we're going to talk about EA. That's Electronic Arts, Mav. They say that single-player games are really, really important to them.
It didn't happen.
It actually did happen. During the first quarter earnings call from Electronics, this comes from Electronic Arts CEO himself. He proclaims the importance of single-player games, stating that single-player games are really, really important to the future of their business. I know, stupid, I know. But that was my reaction, is I laughed. When I heard this, I was like, what? Because 70% of their business is live service games, Mav. Live service games. And this CEO is trying to tell you that this is really, really important. And this is the funny part. So as I'm reading this article, the CFO of the company, Chris Sue, he states this. He says, keep in mind, the bulk of their business and overall success was and is in live service games. And their long-term growth will continue to be investing into those live service games. Mav, what is this doublespeak we're hearing from EA? Like, what is going on there?
I can only hope that they are going to be using these live service games to fund some more single player games as well, right? Like, one thing I'll say is, like, Elden Ring showed everybody that you can be a primarily single player experience. You can launch a game at $60 and it can change your company for the better. Because did you see their financials compared to everybody else's?
Oh yeah,
they're like through the roof, man. Everybody else's is down a little bit. Namco or Bandai Namco is up, right?
I love it.
From a $60 game that's primarily single player. Now it does have multiplayer components and stuff, but like,
so no microtransactions, none, zero,
no, nothing, right? And their profits are through the roof right now, you know. So it can be done, right? It can work. Now EA is kind of a different kind of animal because they have done some good things, right? We got like It Takes Two, which was a co-op experience, right? But like that was a story-based game, you know what I mean? And they published that. And there's Jedi Fallen Order, then we have Jedi Survivor coming. There's rumors that they're doing the Black Panther game and possibly even another Marvel game as well, possibly Iron Man or something like that. Those rumors are out there. We'll see what gets announced, and you can only hope that those are single player experience RPG type big story based games or whatever. And I think that overall, the really bad parts of EA is in the casual market, where you have like these big AAA sports games and stuff like that. You know, you got FIFA, you got Madden. Ultimate Team is like the worst thing in gaming, right? The way they monetize that is just absolutely disgusting. Right?
What is it about it?
It's like insane. You get like every weekend there's like $100 bundles. They make you feel like you got to pay to win by getting those cards that are, some of them are only in the packs, right? So if you get those packs, you either got to grind like crazy to hope to buy a player in the auction house that comes from those packs, or you got to buy the packs and hope you get lucky and get one of those players. And the way it's designed is you got to have a top tier team to really compete with the best players that are top tier. So it's pay to win. It's completely pay to win. Ultimate Team is. You can grind it out, but the amount of people that actually have the amount of time to spend to grind those games out to get those best cards is not very many anymore. So you got the grinders and you got the payers, right? And that's what Ultimate Team is, man. So it's like the most disgusting thing in gaming, period. Now, however, it's taken me away from sports games, right? The 2K's done it since then because it works so well with them. So 2K has it, not as bad as Ultimate Team. And then MLB has it now. Even the show has that kind of stuff with their card battle modes or whatever they're called on there too. So it's kind of infested the sports genre. And EA has huge earnings from this. And you saw them. What happened when they tried to bring it to Battlefront 2? they got massive backlash because all of a sudden you had the other gamers all of a sudden become aware of this kind of scheme, right? And it's like, oh wait, we're not going to allow that. And then they retracted that, but nobody's ever called out the sports stuff, right? I mean, you have people talk about it here or whatever, but there's not a huge outcry, right? So at this point, I'm kind of like playing less sports games than I ever did in the past just because of that. But I feel like I'm almost becoming more okay with the disgustingness of it if they invest more in the other things as well, right?
I think it would be. I think a lot of people would be more okay with it if they just went to a free to play business model with the sports titles, because
those cards, they lose value. Like you spend your money, and then 2 weeks later they're outdated, right?
Yeah.
And then especially by the time the next year rolls around, they have a brand new game. You have to pay $70 for it to even get access to be able to buy all these cards in the first place, right? And then guess what? The next year it's outdated again. So you just wasted. Some people spend thousands of dollars.
And that's that's the reason. Again, that's the reason why these publishers are making billions and billions of dollars year in, year out, because of these microtransactions. And they're not micro anymore. Let's stop with calling these microtransactions. The word micro is mini. These aren't mini transactions. These are huge. $100 packs. That's insane. And people are buying this.
Yeah, and they limit it to you can only buy 2.
You can only buy 2.
They have these
$200.
other ones that are like $60. So you can buy 2 of those, you can buy 3 of those, and you can buy 4 of the $20 ones. And they do these events, the seasonal events. They'll have one around Christmas time. They'll have one around Halloween. They'll have one around, all these different times and they have all these special cards and stuff. Then if you're have that collector mentality or that if you've been into cards ever, it kind of grabs you, you know what I mean? So it kind of tricks your brain. You're like, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. And I did it before, right?
Yeah.
I had to have a coming to Jesus moment with myself about I gotta stop spending money on this. You know what I mean? It's just a waste, right? So I feel like it's never necessarily going to go away now, but it can be done in better ways. Like you said, going free to play, give people access to the game for free, at least if you're going to charge them like crazy for all the content in it.
Yeah, I think that should be the way it should be. I mean, it's not hard to look at a game like Madden, for instance, and say, why couldn't they make this free to play? Then every year upgrade the rosters pretty much, because that's all they're really doing anyway. They're not really going in and changing much in the way of mechanics, graphics, and all that stuff. It essentially looks about the same year in, year out. So, just upgrade those rosters for free and everything. But then you want to sell these cards. You want to sell, all the other stuff, the microtransactions there, or macro transactions as they are. Yeah. Go ahead. And, I have less of a problem with that if it's free to play. I just do.
Yeah. Or at least put them in the subscription services day one. I am honestly, Fonz, I am shocked. We're getting them months after release, but I am shocked because of the way that the sports games are monetized that they haven't been put in Game Pass day one, because it's for the people that are subscribed, they're going to get access, and they're potentially going to get more customers that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's necessarily for the best, because I want them to change their monetization. There's no reason they have to charge as much as they do. They only charge as much as they do because they can, right? And it's made them so much money. It's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous how much money it's made. But if they can use that money to help fund these other games and then keep that as a core aspect and not just 100% be that, then I'm happy, because Jedi Fallen Order for a lot of people was a Game of the Year type candidate, right? Yeah. You have the rumors of them investing in these other licensed games. You have Need for Speed coming back. Hopefully that's done in the right way. So there's potential with EA, right? That they can be a little bit of both, the good and the bad. I just hope there's enough good to offset the bad.
Right? Me too. And we're sitting here talking about their multiplayer games and stuff when we're, the discussion is about their single player games. Right. But you're right. Bringing up Jedi Fallen Order, that is one of the bright spots when it comes to single player gaming, and it did come out of EA there. So that was great to see. I am looking forward to Survivor as well. That game is one of the games high on my list of priorities to play in the coming year. So I'm excited to see more from that. But yeah, it's funny. I was looking around on Twitter, and this brought up old memories of something that was posted on Twitter about a month and a half ago, I believe, somewhere around there, from EA. Do you remember this? They said they're a 10, but they only like playing single player games. Yeah. You see, this is the kind of stuff they troll with this stuff, kind of talking crap about single player games, but then you've got the CEO trying to say otherwise, and then it was rebutted by the CFO. So it really makes no sense. And I thought this was funny because somebody had a comeback to this, and it said, can you give BioWare to Sony or Microsoft so they can get proper funding, since it's clear you don't care about single player? Kind of want Mass Effect and Dragon Age to thrive. I'm 100% with this guy. Pikachu Burr, 100% spot on. Because, I mean, what they've done with BioWare so far has been abysmal as of late. Yeah,
that was very ironic tweet, and then them coming out and saying that after. They got a lot of backlash for that tweet. I remember that. And I feel like whoever, that was a trend going on at the time. Everybody was like, she's a 10, but blah, blah, blah. And it kind of spread around and everybody was doing their take. And then like EA's social media manager had the worst possible response ever. I'm curious if they had a good talking to after that one, because that, I would say that EA probably would not like that, but you would think also that they'd have to approve that kind of tweet going out. Also, supposedly, people look and scrutinize everything that comes out of a lot of those social media accounts. So they let that one slip, thought it was going to be fine. And they're like, oops, we made a mistake there. And definitely pissed off a lot of the gaming community with that.
Oh, it did. I remember that. That's why I went looking for it. I was like, I remember they tweeted something about single player games, and that was one.
That wasn't that long ago. It was only, what was it like?
No, it was in June. It was in June. Yeah, a month and a half ago, maybe a month ago. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. And also, speaking of BioWare, they're supposedly going to be making another Mass Effect, and this both excites me and gets me a little nervous, because Andromeda, that game, like, I don't want to even consider that part of the whole Mass Effect series. That's how bad it is to me.
Yeah, just erase it from canon, it's not there.
But everybody I know that's really gotten into it and played through it said that the one bright spot about the game was that the combat mechanics were very fleshed out and fun. So at least in that aspect, they have that going on. But I just need them to really put an emphasis on the narrative, make it good again. That's what we need. And
that is Dragon Age.
Yeah, Dragon Age 2. We need more emphasis on the narrative and impact to your games with what choices you make and stuff, because that is very important in an RPG for me. I just played As Dusk Falls. I played it twice because I had a totally different experience the second time when I chose differently. But for a small game like that, and it's really more of a picture book than a game, really. But you do have the choices there you make, and you really get it's a compelling game. I don't know if you've played it.
Yeah, I beat it. It's like an interactive visual novel.
The narrative is very compelling, right? And so you make choices that really do impact the story. I need more of that in gaming. Like, I love that.
Yeah. The Western RPGs kind of invented that whole thing to begin with, right? With the branching, like, kind of story paths and stuff where you make decisions and it affects the game later on and stuff. And there was a lot of games that came out even like in the 360 generation and before that actually kind of started with that whole thing.
Hold up. Hot naked girls. They're here, people. Mods, take care of that, please. Sorry to interrupt you there, but
get them while they're hot.
Yeah, get them while they're hot. Get them out of here, though. But we
get a lot of
monkeypox. I don't know what they have. Anyways, I shouldn't probably say that word. YouTube might ban this video or something. Can't talk about disease.
No, I interact with them all the time on our channel.
Man. But
we're just like, hey, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to Naked HD. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sure we've got some mods here that can just ban them. Thank you. But
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, so EA is going to EA, right? They're going to do what they continue to do. We're going to move on from this topic, but before I do, again, this is something I've been doing lately on the show. The past couple of weeks, I have sponsors now, Mav. So the ads have to play. I have to pay the bills. So unfortunately, folks, you have to deal with this stuff. Now, folks, before I get into this next piece of news, I want to tell you about something that's really exciting. I want to tell you about a free-to-play game called Raid Shadow Legends. Do I play it? No. Will I ever play it? No. Will I let them sponsor this video for a large sum of money?
Goddamn right.
You see, Raid Shadow Legends is an RPG you can play on the computer or on a mobile device. Just download the app, open it, and oh, look at this guy. He looks cool. Look at that weapon. And ooh, look at her. I wonder what she does besides, well, being the fantasy of every nerdgen out there that'll even play this game. While this game is free to play, there are so many cool ways you can spend your hard-earned money. Yes, I'm talking real-life cash. Want a cool legendary hero? Buy it. Want a new gear set? Buy it. Want to upgrade that gear set you just bought? Yep, you guessed it. Buy it. Go ahead and spend that money. What do you need it for anyway? Bills? Yeah, you can skip a meal. Running water's overrated. Just tell your landlord you'll pay him next month. Buy up all the best gear and all those cool-looking characters. Collect them all. Play with them. Stare at them. What do I care what you do with them? You've got no life. Who needs friends? Go outside. F the sun. A girlfriend? Have you seen yourself? So what are you waiting for? Play Raid Shadow Legends today. Yeah, so the moral of that is don't play Raid Shadow Legends. I don't care. Yeah, anyways, that's just an old ad that I made. But yeah, I've got to pay the bills. Anyways. Folks, moving on from that, we're going to get into Sony. You like that ad, right? It's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Shout out to all the nerds out there.
You know what's funny, though? I'll tell you guys this, and this is the God's honest truth. So I got an email from Raid Shadow Legends, okay?
Yeah.
And lately, I haven't even been making videos. All I've been doing is live streaming here on this show. They hit me up, and they said, hey, we're willing to pay you yada, yada, yada if you would stream the game on your show. I immediately was like, no, I don't feel like playing your game at all, personally. Secondly, I'm not going to play it on my show. Like, this is not what I do. I'm not going to stream your game. I thought it was ridiculous. I was just like, no. And it was just funny to me that they actually sent me, an email just about a month ago. I was just laughing about it. But anyway.
That's fascinating.
Pixelbit G, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, holy crap, legend ad. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I put a lot of work into those ads, man. It takes time to edit that stuff. But
it does. It's impressive.
Fun. It's fun.
That was impressive.
Sony speaks out against the Activision Blizzard deal, Mav. While the acquisition Blizzard deal to Microsoft is under scrutiny by the regulatory bodies across this whole world, Sony is pleading with Brazil, saying that this acquisition, it may influence console choice.
Oh my gosh, really?
You don't say. I mean, isn't this the idea every time Sony goes after an IP like, say, Spider-Man? I mean, they're trying to bring people over to their platform, making things exclusive. I mean, this is competition. This is basically what it is. They go on to say that they can't create anything that would rival Call of Duty, and that it would take years for them to even to compete with something like Game Pass. So, Mav, what's going on here? Do you think Sony is really scared of this deal?
Well, I think that they're right that they can't make anything to rival Call of Duty. They tried for years to make anything that could rival Halo, and they never accomplished that either. You remember all those Halo killers that they kept trying to launch. But for real, though, they wanted to affect console choice when they got the marketing rights to Call of Duty in the first place, right? So why would they spend all that money to get the marketing rights if it wasn't to affect console choice, right? Why would they spend all the money to get the marketing rights on Destiny at the beginning of the PS4 generation if it wasn't to affect console choice? Why would they go and make Final Fantasy 16 an exclusive if it wasn't to affect console choice? How about Deathloop? How about Ghostwire Tokyo? Getting exclusive rights for those games for at least a year. Was that not to affect console choice? Like, is Microsoft not supposed to be doing business deals in their interest to affect not only console choice, but ecosystem choice? And it also tells you where Sony's mindset is. They're still stuck in this like only console thought process, right? Well, people aren't going to buy our consoles anymore if we don't have the marketing rights for Call of Duty. It's the freaking marketing rights, right? All they're losing is the marketing rights. People like are still going to be able to buy their game.
Pause there. Marketing rights are huge, though.
They are.
They're huge because every time you these companies market a game, like Sony did with Destiny, let's just say that with Destiny, it became synonymous with PlayStation. A lot of gamers out there really did think that Destiny was exclusive, or at least got a lot more in terms of content with the game.
That's why they stopped making first-person shooters, because they didn't need them, because they had the marketing rights for Destiny and Call of Duty.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
So, that's why they didn't make a new Resistance or try to make another Killzone after all those games didn't work out for them, right? Like, it just...
Uh-oh, sorry. We got another Naked HD in the chat, everybody. The air horn is so stupid and lame. It's so like 2007, but... you know what? I'm going to use it for the Naked HD girls coming in here hot for you guys. If you would like to go over there, that's fine, but do it after the show, please. Get rid of them now. Thank you, mods. Please do so. Anyways, continue, Mav. I'm sorry, but
no, it's good. I don't mind a good air horn interruption every once in a while. That's great. I just feel like a lot of it's just hypocritical type talk, and I expected this from them. Right, I expected it from them, but the points that they're making are completely like meant to be to somebody that knows nothing about the industry. Period. Right,
yeah.
And that's honestly who's going to be reading these things. You're talking about politicians and regulators and stuff like this. I know nothing about gaming. Don't know anything about the history of everything that's been going on. They're just like, oh, that's going to affect them badly. And that's what they want. They're just trying to play the victim. Right, they're trying to play the victim when they've been using their money to basically lead the market for a long time now. Right, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense with the wording that they're using. I feel like it comes across weak as hell too, because they can go and get marketing rights for other games as well. Right, you don't even have to replace.
And they do.
Right, they do for sure. You don't even have to replace
Final Fantasy 16
equivalent. Yeah, for sure. Like, there's other games, and you know what? There's always going to be the next big thing.
Yep.
Right? Always going to be the next big thing. Whatever the next big thing is, they can try and get the marketing rights for that. Them to come across like, oh, like it's just there's nothing that can replace it. And when you talk about replacing it, for me, it comes across like the amount of sales at that game and the amount of people that brings to their ecosystem, right?
Yeah. There's
definitely things out there that can do that. But Sony has been so in their little box for so long with, okay, we're gonna gatekeep the Souls type games over here. We're gonna do the JRPGs. We're gonna make sure they're only over here. We're going to have our first-person action adventure games and story-based games that we do really well from our first party, and then everything else we're just going to money hat or get marketing rights to, and we'll grow our platform now. Now, what's happening now is this generation it's not working as well, right? You saw their revenue and their profits down. People apparently don't like buying $70 games that much. Sales are down on the big first-party games. And they're starting to gravitate more towards going beyond the box, right? Now they're going to the PC, they're going to other things, and they're trying to shift their focus. And they're kind of like in between two worlds right now. It's like the old Sony and then where they're headed, And I feel like them losing COD makes them feel like they have to rush further forward than they were prepared to, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want to have to figure out a solution for first-person shooters and stuff. But guess what they did? They went out and acquired Bungie. That way they were assured they would at least still have the marketing rights for that. Even though this is going to stay multi-platform, they're going to still have the marketing rights for that. And then also whatever their next game is going to be synonymous with PlayStation. So they're already doing things that are going to affect console choice on their behalf to offset this. You know what I mean? It's just ludicrous. All the other publishers had 3 sentences, and their answers like, hey, do you know what it is? And then Sony has this page of dialogue, please regulators, help us out, please, because Microsoft's using their money. We don't like it.
Yeah. And that is it. You know, at the end of the day, it's that Sony cannot compete financially with Xbox, with Microsoft. They're
Yeah.
not going to be able to really push their premium service into the area where Game Pass is now. Even if they've got the subs and stuff now from the PS Now subscribers migrating over, the fact is that people will only stay subscribed to certain things if they continue to offer good product within. And that is something that Game Pass has been doing. They kept they keep putting new things within the service. Unfortunately, as far as first party big IP, that didn't come to fruition this year, pretty much. The rest of this year anyway, we're not going to get anything. But when this starts rolling out for them next year, they will have quite a bit of like good things coming to Game Pass that people are really going to be going, wow, Game Pass is such a great deal. They're not going to get up to that level for quite some time. It takes a lot of capital for that, and Sony does not have that.
Maybe they should have started 5 years too late.
Well, I think
what it
comes down to is Sony started all this first. Remember that, with the streaming and everything. But they just did not have the capital to do it the way Microsoft did it. So when Microsoft started doing this, they did the day and date thing right away. They jumped in this, head first and decided we're going to go ahead and put all our eggs into this basket, and it's working for them. As much as people want to poo-poo the idea of them of Game Pass being successful, they're simply wrong. It is a successful thing, and right now, I mean, they're probably looking at about 35 million subs right now, which is quite a bit of continuous revenue for them. Month after month. So
the thing is with Sony though, for me, is like, I understand completely. When they launch the service, it's not going to be apples to Game Pass. It can't be. But then they're going on their premium service and they're charging more than what Game Pass is, right? Per month. Now you get a discount if you buy it ahead of time, but there's things they could be doing to help get that traction going, and that they're not, right? Like, why isn't Gran Turismo 7 in there now? You know what I mean? Yeah. It didn't sell that well, it sold okay.
And it is more of a live service based game.
Exactly. Like, that game should be in their service right now, and it's not. I have no idea what their thinking is that they wouldn't go ahead and put that in there. That even if you don't do it day and date, 3 months later, why not? Especially if a game didn't sell that well to begin with. How about Horizon Forbidden West? People would subscribe to their service if a game like that drops in it. Not even if it's day and date, but like, you can get there now, right? People that want it day one, they're going to get it day one, right? Yeah. Some people aren't going to want to wait 3 months or whatever, but like, people aren't happy with the price point, first off, at $70. So that's one thing that they're not doing that they could help themselves. And then the other thing is they're changed their whole subscription to try and use their numbers of the PS Plus Essentials as subscribers for a game subscription. But they're the only ones doing that. You know what I mean? Like, Xbox has Xbox Live Gold, right? If they use that to compare to Essentials, which is the same pretty much service, Xbox Live Gold blows it away. You know what I mean? But they're using this, PS Plus has 47 million subscribers, right? Game Pass has 30 million or whatever, right? And it's complete bogus numbers, because you have, I think that was when PS Now had only about 3 million subs, right? And you saw in their year-over-year report on their financials, their subscriptions or their game services is up 2%. So they only got about 2% more subscribers in general than they did before, right? As of year over year. And now it's early for them. They're going to grow, but they're just not doing enough right now that makes sense to me. The other thing is, when they just announced those Yakuza games, they're all coming to PS Plus, like extra and premium. They separated them out between the extra and the premium tiers. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but there's like 3 of those Yakuza games that they put in premium instead of just extra. And those games are PS4 games. They're remasters of PS2 games. So remember when they announced all the premium and extra stuff? The premium was supposed to be the classic games like PS2 and PS1 and all that kind of stuff for that extra few bucks. Now you got PS4 games going.
Oh, sorry about that.
No problem. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like they don't have like a clear direction of what they're trying to do with their service right now. It's like they have the service just to have the service, right?
Yeah. I think that they, Pragmatic Eagle. I see your posts in the chat, and he seems to think that they could do what Game Pass is doing right now with day and date and all that. I don't think so, man. I really think that it would cost them way too much at this moment, especially because they have nothing there really to bolster their single player games, which most of those games that they do have aren't really live service based. And that's why I think that they are making those games right now. They said they have 10 in the works right now. One of those being Factions, which I think should be, and I'm saying should, I'm emphasizing that because it should be a success for them, because the original was a massive success for them. A lot of people loved Factions. And so I think what they're going to do with that game is I think they're going to put that into their premium service. However, though, Mav, as greedy as I know Sony can be sometimes, I think that they will also sell it on the side for like $50, the game. I think they'll sell it on the side to those who don't want to get into the premium service, because what else is going to entice them otherwise? Well, they can just play Factions, for free if it was, a free to play model. So I think that they will put that game within their premium service to entice people to come over there and play those games and buy those microtransactions, which they were doing in the first Factions game. So I think that they're going to make more of those live service games before they implement all their games into a day and date type deal.
Yeah. I think part of the language too, as well, Fonz, from like their pleas to the regulators, is because they're already losing market share without this deal even going through yet. You know what I mean? Like compared to last generation, you had that pretty much a 2-to-1 gap between PlayStation and Xbox. And this generation, it's much closer, So they kind of see that. They know that they're finally getting to be able to ramp up on stock, which is going to help a lot, especially with God of War coming out this year. I think you're going to have a complete surge. But at that point, still, you have Xbox that has the Series S at a really low price point. They got Game Pass coming. And once this Activision Blizzard deal goes through, I think they're more afraid of what that's going to do with their market share in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's more of like a, hey, that's not fair because we can't afford it type deal. You know what I mean?
And as Pragmatic Eagle again in the chat says he has zero sympathy for these billion-dollar companies. I'm with him on that. It's just that Microsoft had a vision for Game Pass, and they saw what other media, was how they were being consumed. Too. Looking at Netflix, looking at Hulu, looking at all these other services that were being, successful, and saying, hey, a lot of people would like to consume their media this way. Why not gaming? That's pretty much the attitude Phil Spencer had with this. And they just had this attitude first about this day and date stuff. So it just makes a lot of sense, man. This is the way I want to consume my games. I want to consume my games this way on PlayStation as well. I want to get into their premium service. For me right now, it's not worth it. For somebody who hasn't delved into the PS4 ecosystem at all, hasn't played those games, the service is amazing. You guys have freaking amazing games there to play. And I get that. There's a lot of people who just now are going into that. And they've got the premium service and they're playing, all these PS4 games that were amazing to us when we played them. It makes sense. There's value there for you. But for me, there's no value. Not right now. Not until they do day and date. It could change even with some live service games. Who knows? Maybe I like some live service games that they put into that service, and that makes me jump in already. That may be the case. I don't know. But right now, I'm just going to hold off and say that, I don't think that'll happen, but I want it to happen. Like, this is what I want. I want to consume all my games this way. I'm a cheap guy, man. Like, if I can play a monthly service
on Xbox.
What's up?
Has it changed your gaming habits on Xbox?
Yeah, it really has. I mean,
Yeah.
because now when I fire up my Xbox, it's not, hey, let me go to the store and see what I want to buy. It's, hey, let me go to Game Pass and see what's in there. That's literally what I'm doing now. And not only that, it's saved me a lot of money because I got kids too, you know, and my kids play in Game Pass. And there's so many games there that my son has played within Game Pass that it's more than made up for the year. You know, he plays all kinds of different genres of games, way more than I do. And you know, it's been awesome just for that. I'm not buying games for him. He's got games to play. So
yeah, the value can't be beat. I mean, it's like undeniable, especially with that family plan potentially coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
and then there's some people out there, like Pragmatic Eagle is saying, I'm sorry to just pick on his name today, but he says that, you know, a lot of people buy within Game Pass as well. And that's true. I know Dealer buys his games, even if it's in Game Pass. If it's a game that he really likes, he buys it. So
yeah, I'll do that if like one's leaving the service that was like a third-party game, and I get it while it's on, and I get the discount. You know what I mean? So I'll do that sometimes, but by that time, a lot of times these game sales in the storefronts are like 75-80% off. You know, I just go crazy on those things, man. Even if it's like a game, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna play this, but you like, if I ever want to, it's never gonna be cheaper than $5. You know what I mean?
Did you by chance see the response from Phil about, you know, Sony going to the regulatory bodies there? He says there is nothing unique about the video games developed and published by Activision Blizzard that is a must-have for rival PC and console video game distributors that could give rise to a foreclosure concern. So in essence, he's just saying, hey, there's nothing special about those games, right? So
that would give rise to a foreclosure concern, right? Like that's one of the things. Like a lot of the articles I saw written about that, like Xbox says that Activision Blizzard games aren't special or whatever, and it's like when they're talking about it, is like they're video games, right? And like the same as any other big video games, like if they lose the marketing rights for Call of Duty, it doesn't mean they're going to go out of business. Yeah, right. It's not so special for them that they have to have that marketing rights on Call of Duty to survive as a company. Right?
Survive, no, but it will hurt their bottom end.
It'll hurt them. Yeah. But they can, smart business people can make stuff. You know, it's been hurting Xbox for years for those exclusivity rights and marketing deals, right? So, hey, guess what? Right back at you.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, he's got to downplay it somewhat because he wants this to go through. So it makes sense on his part. But at the end of the day, I just think the whole thing's kind of silly for Sony to try to stop this. It's going to go through. Yeah, it's going to go through, and they know it's going to hurt their bottom end. So is Sony scared? Yes, in that respect. I don't think they're sitting there shaking and like they're, you know, thinking about impending foreclosure or, you know, bankruptcy, but they're just sitting there going, man, this is really going to sting us and it's going to hurt our wallet pretty good.
Anything that causes more meetings about how to counteract this.
Exactly.
Right? And it'll push things like the Bungie acquisition happened because of this.
Exactly.
You know?
And it'll also push innovation and stuff. It'll push these companies to do better because competition is what's needed in this space. And I love it. I'm all for it. Now I'm not all for, you know, acquisition season and every company getting acquired by everybody. Like I'm not all for that, but I think these companies right now, what they're doing, what Microsoft has done, I think it's something that they've needed to do. Sony as well, picking up Bungie. I think that's needed for them.
Fantastic move, man. And they're going to get we're so focused on Destiny, right? But like, we don't even know what Bungie's next game is. And if you look at what Bungie's done, they've made 2 franchises, right? And both of those franchises that they've created have changed gaming forever, right? Halo changed gaming forever. Destiny changed gaming forever. It was the first big, huge live service game that was like became a big success on consoles and everything like that, right? So between Halo and Destiny, what is next for Bungie? Is it the same Bungie? Like some people say no, but like I don't know. I always, you know, hold out and wait to see what they're going to make. But whatever the next thing is going to have a lot of hype, right? And Sony's going to be all over that. So that was a huge move for them. A lot of people think they overpaid, but I don't know. I don't think I don't think you can really overpay for Bungie, because what it's going to do for Sony, with the live service
For them,
aspect of being able to finally get some good multiplayer stuff that's coming from their first party, right, is going to be a big thing, and
it's
it
huge.
needs to happen soon. So
It's huge. Moving on from that, though, we'll talk about Game Pass real quick, because we've been talking about Game Pass, but it's expanding with Game Pass family sharing. Is this something that's
yeah,
interesting to you at all? Is this something you can use yourself, Mav?
it's going to save me money. So
Really?
I will
Good.
definitely take advantage of it, because we have now the regular game sharing works great if you have a 2-console household,
Yeah.
right? If you have more than that, it doesn't matter, because at that point if you play on the third one, well, what do you use for there? You know what I mean? And so we kind of hover in our house, we got different rooms we play in, and we have 3 people that play games a lot, right?
Yeah.
I play games a lot. My wife plays games a lot. My daughter plays games a lot. Sometimes somebody will play it here, or in my office, or in, the living room, or our bedroom, or her bedroom, or whatever. And so we actually subscribe to 3 Game Pass subscriptions right now. Ultimately, it still saves us money because we're not buying as many
Really?
games like we would have otherwise.
Why not
So,
2? And just
because
share?
because I have too many Xboxes.
Oh, shoot. I gotcha. So
Yeah.
basically, this will allow up to 5 accounts for around
Right.
$25 a month, which is a steal,
Yes.
really.
Oh, for sure. And I'll have 2 extra accounts. I can get somebody that wasn't a subscriber, like a friend or something, to take advantage of it. You know
Yeah.
what I
Now,
mean?
this is basically a tentative price converted from current
Right.
countries that are testing this right now. And the current 2 countries are Colombia and Ireland right now, who
Yeah.
have access to this. Strange that it's Colombia and Ireland. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
But
maybe those smaller markets or something, and they're kind of just getting a little
maybe,
test,
maybe.
to see how it's going to roll out, because I think they're probably going to run into some bugs. And if you actually read the known issues with
Mhm.
it, there's like several. You know what I mean? There's several known issues right now. So
Yeah.
I think they're probably starting with a smaller sample, see how it works, see if they have any growth from it, as well, to see what the numbers do, kind of with those players that get added in. Are they buying things and stuff like that? And then maybe test how they're going to charge people once it actually rolls out. So tentative price right now, but if that is the price, that is $10 less than I thought they could have got away with charging.
Yeah.
I thought they could
Because
have got
that's
away with
5.
charging 35.
Wow. Yeah, no, I was saying 25 when we were talking about this about a month or so ago. I was like, I would pay up to 25 for 5 accounts, but I even knew that was a steal. I don't personally need it, so it's just me and my son.
Right.
So it's not a big deal. My daughter plays here and there, but it's nothing, she plays on one of our boxes. It's not a big deal. But now this, you guys have to understand, this deal is also that you have to be within country, everybody on the plan.
Yeah.
So you can't be outside of the country. So you can't game share like with Gaz or something in the UK. It has to be somebody in the US, and vice versa.
So no birthday subscription gift for Gaz.
Yeah, no birthday subscription gift for Gaz.
Happy real birthday to Gaz, by the way. Also.
Yeah, I was shocked. My birthday was Friday the 5th. I told him it was my birthday because he was asking me to go on his show yesterday. I was like, well, it's my birthday weekend. I don't know. And then he goes, well, it's my birthday tomorrow. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah. He goes, that's crazy. We both have a birthday back to back. And I said, okay, let's just make it a birthday show then. Let's do it. So we had a good time.
So one thing also, Fonz, about this a family plan that I don't think a lot of people are thinking about too, is because if you really look at it, where Xbox is going to where it's less necessary to even have to have a console, like year after year, the technology is going to get better and better and better. You have the apps and the smart TVs, and you're going to have the people with apps on their phones, and you got like Fortnite now is like free to play if you just go on there and set up an account or whatever, and you have all these different ways of accessing the content. Right. So it's more that they're anticipating more. They're trying to invite more people to have to play and trying to take away the restrictions of every single person having to pay that $15 a month to take advantage of all the xCloud technology, all the Game Pass everywhere type stuff. So it's more than just about how many consoles you have. It's about how many devices you have that can play these games. Right.
True.
Because every household now has access to this ecosystem, right? It's no longer just about you don't have to go to the store and buy a $500 box or a $300 box for Series S. Now they want you to, and I think it's the best way to still play right now.
Yeah.
But year over year, it's going to be less necessary, and you're going to get more involvement from especially the younger generations that get used to playing games like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're going to have these kids like, yeah, can we set up an Xbox account? And they'll get on their TV and just grab their controller or
that's a good
iPad
point.
or whatever. It's just easy lowering the gate. And making it easier.
And the initial cost. I mean, you don't have to buy a console. It's insane.
Yeah, I'll pay $15 a month and get all my kids' games.
Or 25 at this point. Yeah.
Oh, 25. Yeah.
Gamer by choice. Thank you very much. I don't want this to go that far away from the Sony topic we have, but he said Sony is afraid to lose being the casual box, and losing COD is a major step backwards. Major step towards losing market share and mind share. Yeah, no, it is, especially concerning that game, of course. It's a big loss not to have that as a big marketing deal. Because again, there's a lot of casuals out there who will think, oh, COD, it's always marketed by Sony, having these deals. But yeah, it's a Sony. I'm buying it on PlayStation. That a lot of people do that. It really does affect market share, or mind share, I should say, as well. But yeah, thank you for that super chat. Square Enix acquisition. Now, there's been many rumors that Square Enix might be interested in being acquired, but according to their recent earnings meeting, they talked more about the possibility of letting other companies, Mav, spending or investing heavily into individual studios and individual IPs. So that way, you can have, like what Sony did with Final Fantasy 16, basically swoop in, invest into, this is the difference though, in creation of those games. So you're helping them develop the games with financially, and then you get those games exclusive to your platform. That is more honest, in to me anyway, than what Sony's currently doing with just throwing money at something, saying, hey, don't let that be on Xbox, or don't let that be on Nintendo. Right. So what do you think about this, this tactic from Square Enix? You think it's a smart one?
Well, it's interesting, and it's like Square's run such a. I'll be honest with you, I don't agree with the way they've been running their business for a long time.
No, it's weird.
They seem almost afraid that they're afraid to release a game without upfront huge investment from a third party, for either marketing rights or exclusivity or subscription service or something. Right? Almost everything they release has to be part of some situation like that.
And then afterwards, it's always a complaint when they don't sell well, according to them.
Exactly.
Even if they sell 10 million, they're like, it's a failure.
Yeah. Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, even Final Fantasy, the games didn't sell as much as they could have. You know what I mean? You know how many more sales they could have got if the Final Fantasy VII remake would have launched day and date on Xbox?
Yeah.
It'd have been insane. You know what I mean? But we're not selling as much as we hoped. We're gonna get lean and mean and let go of these amazing IPs for $300 million and these great studios, and we're going to focus on the Japanese games and stuff like that. I don't really know or believe anything that they actually say right now, because I know their history that they've had up to this point. Now maybe they're shifting course, but it doesn't seem smart business for me if I'm going to say, well, I'm a publisher that makes all these different kinds of games and has all these different kinds of studios. I'm going to start limiting myself into narrower and narrower and narrower and narrower focus only for one kind of audience and one kind of fan base. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't seem very smart thinking for me from a publisher. And it seems like that's kind of what they're focused on right now, is making that their priority. Now, it could be great for the quality of those games, but my thinking is the failings that they had were supporting those games properly in the past and marketing them properly, right? And if they had done that to begin with all along, they wouldn't be in the situation that they're in now, right?
Yeah.
So now they're in this situation, and it's like they're trying to figure out what to do. They got some cash, they said, that they can use to potentially acquire something. So I don't know if they're maybe looking to acquire another Japanese studio.
Oh, most likely. I mean, it seems like they're trying to their version of cutting the fat is cutting off all their Western developers.
Yeah.
Because
and this goes even further. I was looking
Yeah.
at their market cap yesterday, and I think they're at like almost $6 billion, right?
yeah,
And so it would be a pretty large acquisition for a company to make of them. But then if you're narrowing your focus to only certain things so much, I don't know, it becomes less.
well, then
It
you could
becomes
have,
less desirable.
well, you could have a situation where, because they are a publicly traded company as well, you could have somebody
Yeah.
like Tencent really come in there with a large market share, like swoop up a large market share, invest heavily into them as a company, and kind of do one of those financial takeover type deals, which is the rumor, or at least a lot of concerns by a lot of people right now with Ubisoft. They're worried about Tencent doing something like that with Ubisoft.
Yeah. That's what everybody's saying right now. And it's kind of weird, man. That's why I don't get upset.
Hold up. We've got Love Chat XYZ Girls Best Adult Dating. Woo! Yeah. Anyway,
that's Naked HD's best friend.
Again, get them out of here. If you want to visit that site, guys, go ahead after the show. But yeah, get them out. Mods, do your thing. Okay. Go ahead, Mav. I'm sorry.
I was just so distracted by Love Chat.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they have all these like great franchises and stuff, and like with Ubisoft, now they're kind of susceptible. Like their value is way down compared to what it was, because they don't seem like they know what they're trying to do. Ubisoft just had all these cancellations that were rumored, 2 of them that were just games that were just announced, right? Then they're supposed to be having all these new mobile game announcements. Then they come out and say Skull and Bones is going to be $70 as well, and it's like on console, but on PC it's still $60.
Yeah, isn't that funny, right?
It's crazy. It's like,
well, do you know why that? Do you know why that is, console gamers? Do you know why? Let me tell you why. PlayStation fans, listen. The reason why is PC gamers won't tolerate it, and it's not necessary for that extra $10 tax.
Yeah.
But anyway, console gamers will buy it up.
Tweet from that dev that kind of went viral yesterday or today that was like worked on God of War, and they were like,
so
it's definitely worth it. You should if you don't think it's worth $70, don't buy it.
Well, what she stated was, look, I posted in that thread of hers, and I have no hatred towards her at all. She's a developer, and I respect her so much for what she does. All her hard work is awesome, and I'm sure she should be well compensated for it. But unfortunately, in that whole mindset of hers, in that thread anyway, she was advocating for $70 games, which her work or her pay for her work has no bearing in that conversation, because
on how it works.
Basically, she gets paid for her work. She does her work. The game is made. Then the publisher sets the price of the game and puts it out there and sells it. She doesn't get anything extra from that. So I just thought it was kind of weird that she was putting that out there. But again, she's one of the many people out there who are in the camp of, if you don't like it, don't buy it. And I hate that. Right. Don't like it, don't buy it. Don't like it, don't buy it. It's
and you know what? Guess what? It's happened on a lot of the $70 games out there that people have been actually not buying them. Right? I mean, you look at Call of Duty sales was down compared to before. Also it hasn't helped quality. Right?
No,
that argument.
Games haven't changed. I'm sorry, but your haptic feedback, on the Sony games anyway, haptic feedback doesn't constitute next gen, in my opinion. That's not like what I feel is next gen. There's no higher quality in these games than last generation. Matter of fact, they're cross-gen games.
That a lot of the launch state of a lot of those games are actually a lot worse. Maybe because of COVID or whatnot. We don't know, but the Battlefield, $70 didn't do very well. You had Call of Duty Vanguard and Cold War, 2 of the low, kind of dropped in sales ever since Modern Warfare 2019, right? Then you have EA's games, and now you have the Sony games, the Horizon Forbidden West and GT7 didn't perform as well as kind of hoped as well. So people are kind of saying that maybe they don't really behind the $70 price tag, just numbers wise. I think God of War is going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like Namco or Bandai Namco proved that you can be very successful and profitable by launching a game at $60 if it's a good game.
Wait, no microtransactions,
Yep.
And that game, Elden Ring, of course, was massive for a $60 price tag. That game was huge. Again, nothing real next gen about it. I've yet to get or feel the next gen game
so far, besides like maybe some of the racing games and stuff. That really feels like that.
No, and Mav. I mean, that's a question I was going to pose to you. I personally haven't seen anything that has wowed me this generation. I haven't seen anything next gen. And before I ask you that, I just have to say, we've got Naked HD XYZ in the chat. Yes, go visit them, people, after the show if you want, but get rid of them, please. Mods, thank you. So anyway, yeah. So have you seen anything next gen?
Really? I mean, for me, it depends on for me, next gen is about not necessarily fidelity, right? Now,
no, not necessarily.
I haven't seen anything that blows my mind. I'm like, this was never possible before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? Holy crap. But I feel like for me, and I've talked about this a lot before these consoles even came out, that we're no longer in that realm of like the graphics being like what we identify with as next gen. It's more about the features that we're getting out of these consoles with like the SSD speeds, and we're getting like the frame rates are now way smoother. For a lot of people, ray tracing is the only thing that means
shut up.
Right?
Look, and I'm not saying ray tracing can't be amazing, because it is on PC. Red Dead Redemption 2 on the PC, ultra settings with ray tracing enabled, global illumination, realistic as hell. Looks so good. On console, you get ray trace shadows. Shut up about ray tracing on shadows. We have not seen anything that's really like, wow, ray tracing is incredible. It's no. The reflections are okay, but again, in a lot of these games, most of the ray trace reflections, I think you can get away with screen space reflections and that does almost a decent enough job. But yeah, most of the time we get ray trace shadows, and that's just not cutting it, man. That I don't care about that. And
I will never like trade frames per se, like frame rate for ray tracing.
Hell no. And that is the trade-off. Right. Okay, so frame rates. You mentioned frame rates. That is something with this new generation that I fully expected, and I'm like, okay, that is the biggest benefit in my opinion, is we get higher frames. However, you still expect to see something a bit more mind-blowing visually every generation, and so far that is what I'm not seeing. And it might not even be resolution, it might not even be necessarily the graphics, but more of the animation. Even I want to see better animations in gaming. Yeah, I mean, there's some companies, Naughty Dog and Rockstar, do a phenomenal job with facial animations and stuff, but I want to see more of that in other games, and so.
But we're gonna see some interesting things. Like a lot of this tech that we are heard about for so long is finally starting to get to the devs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we heard about it for so long that we anticipated it was going to be there at the start of the gen, kind of, and it was like, but no. Just like every generation, the biggest and best things are going to come midway through to the end of the life cycle, right?
Yeah.
However, this generation is also going to be different, where this is the first time we've gotten these consoles with compatibility, back compatibility already built in and everything, and forward compatibility is also a thought here. So I think you're going to see incremental improvements, like over time, like more like PCs, and that's kind of where console gaming has gotten.
Yeah. It's sad though, because we're 2 years in, so people are like, we're in a day and age where people want that instant gratification. So day one, they wanted to see something that melts our faces off. It hasn't happened, but 2 years later, it still really hasn't happened.
I think Forza Motorsport
Yeah, it's using a lot of that tech.
Yeah, it's going to be
But
pretty mind blowing, but it's a racing game,
but
and
it's a
it's like,
racing game because
right.
we had the same thing. I will say that Flight Sim looked incredible.
Yeah.
There was moments in there I was like, wow, this is really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a flight simulator. It's
Right.
not. It's not my cup of tea. And I'm not saying racing games aren't great. You guys can love the racing games, and that's good. It's awesome. But for me, I want to see that more implemented into a third person action adventure or something. I want to see some really cool animations, really high frame rates, 60 frames or more, and just some really cool graphics. Like I'd love to see something.
Hellblade 2 could be that game.
It
also.
could be. It could be.
Yeah.
The first was
I
more
haven't
of a
seen-
walking simulator, though.
What is besides? So we know Wolverine has Sony has Wolverine that they've announced, which we haven't seen anything from it yet.
Next
then
gen
they have God of
only.
War Ragnarok, right? Is that all from the first party? We have Spider-Man 2, but we don't really know what's on the far.
And that's what's kind of exciting, right?
Yeah. I think we know a lot about Xbox, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the games that are coming, Hellblade and what's the Obsidian game?
Redfall. We've got Avowed.
Redfall, and you got several different games we know about that are coming. Starfield, but from Sony, we only know about 3 more big games right now. So I think we're going to see some things get revealed that are going to be kind of mind blowing and really next gen type stuff.
Yeah, because what is it? After God of War Ragnarok, I think that everything from then on for Sony is not cross-gen.
I hope so.
I think Spider-Man 2 is not cross-gen. I hope so.
Right.
I think that's the case.
I don't know. I mean, I really liked Miles Morales, what I played of it.
I did.
But it did just feel like more of Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually liked it better than the Spider-Man 2018 game, and that's because I liked Miles' mechanics better. Hated his voice. I hated the voice, man. Hey, Spider-Man! I didn't like the high-pitched voice that he had, but I liked...
If you guys want to know, when we were talking about 3-Bit at the opening of the show, my buddy from our panel, 3-Bit is Miles Morales. That is he is the same person.
Really?
When I heard his voice and his mannerisms, the way he talks and everything, even the way he looks, the facial mannerisms, everything... That is 3-Bit, dude. It was crazy. I almost couldn't play the game.
I'm sorry, I've heard 3-Bit on your show. He does not sound like Miles Morales in that game. He does not sound like that. That man sounds like a prepubescent child in that game. Now
3-Bit.
Yeah. So moving on to oh my God, that is a shame. 3-Bit does not sound like that. Moving on to the last topic here, and it's kind of going into this anyway. We're talking about Microsoft. We're talking about their upcoming games. And we've got Redfall in the news. So apparently there's going to be a big Redfall showcase, guys. If you have not heard this yet, this broke yesterday, I believe, or the day before. Bethesda, in its annual QuakeCon, August 18th through the 20th, they will be showcasing Redfall there. Of all places, QuakeCon. But they're going to have a 30-minute segment there called Bringing Redfall to Life with Arcane Austin. Are you looking forward to this? Because I kind of am, man. I want to see more of Redfall.
Yeah, I felt like this is a Dallas-based event also. QuakeCon's been going on around here for a long time, right? And since the acquisition, I was kind of wondering, how are they going to utilize this? Because they've used it before to reveal Doom stuff. They showcased the first footage of Doom Eternal, I think Doom 2016 or something. And I think it's going to be more something that you're going to see and at these different events. Because once, especially Activision Blizzard deal, then they got BlizzCon also. And things like that.
That's true.
I'm thinking you're going to see more reveals and interesting things at a lot of these different events from a bunch of different studios. Now you say that it doesn't it's kind of weird to see that one there because it's an Arcane game, but it's Bethesda's ZeniMax is Arcane's within their studios, right? So I'm really looking forward to it. I think you got to try and take advantage of every opportunity you have to showcase these things. Mm-hmm. They squandered the opportunity for some of the games they've had at E3. I feel like they should have used that to more than just a 12-month thing. But things like this helps offset that, right? Now, Redfall is coming soon. Right, but I would love to see another thing besides Redfall at QuakeCon. I would love to see a new Quake reveal or like some big surprise, and them start utilizing these shows for more than that. But Redfall, I think, is going to catch people by surprise, just like Deathloop did, right? Like Deathloop was highly rated. A lot of people absolutely loved that game.
Yeah.
And Arcane is kind of one of those studios that a lot of people were not super excited about when the whole ZeniMax Bethesda thing went down, because they were pretty much just known for Dishonored, you know.
Yeah.
But they had also made Prey, which did really well. Now they made Deathloop, which did really well. Now they have Redfall coming, and it's not only got this single player story based type gameplay, but it's also co-op, right? So it's a new thing for them. I'm really curious to see how it's going to play, but it looks really good so far. If you go back and watch the E3 reveal of Redfall, and all the gameplay trailer they had, and watch it back in 4K, it hits a lot better than we watched it live. There it is now. You got it up on the screen. It's a gorgeous game, dude. Like, it's not going to be mind blowing like graphically. It's not going to, be one of those next gen experiences that you're talking about, right? But what it is going to do is it's going to have solid gameplay. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's probably going to have a really cool story. And I'm really looking forward to it, dude. I think it's going to be something that's going to be a highlight of next year for sure.
Yeah. Here's the thing about, look, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of Arcane. I wasn't anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Dishonored. So when they got them, I was one of the guys going, whatever. It's part of ZeniMax, whatever. And I wasn't looking forward to Redfall at all. Okay. Really just didn't care for it. I was thinking, this is just Arcane, another Dishonored type game, whatever. And then I heard it was going to be co-op, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not that big into co-op either, so it's not going to be for me. Well, I guess they really want to put an emphasis that this game is, can be played as single player, that it's not just a co-op game, that this is a full-fledged, could be a full-fledged single player experience. And I think they're going to push that or emphasize that at this showcase. So that was speaking to me. And when I saw this gameplay, I thought, man, that doesn't look that bad. That looks like it could be a lot of fun. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I think that this might be the game, or could be the game anyway, that makes me a fan of Arcane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it looks really good so far. From what we're seeing here, I think it looks very interesting.
It looks different too, right?
It doesn't look just like all their other games either. It doesn't look like Dishonored. Doesn't look like the game you mentioned earlier that got high praise, Deathloop. It's not, Deathloop looked a lot like Dishonored to me. Mm-hmm. But this game, it looks, it's got its own style, and I like it. Again, it'll be fun to play, by myself, or if somebody wants to jump in, that'll be a lot of fun too. So I don't know. You guys in the chat, are you looking forward to this? Look, it's a half-hour showcase of the game. Why not, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to see some cool stuff. I'm hoping they go more into like the loot systems and stuff like that, because they showcase some of it in the trailer. Yeah. And you can tell there's like different rarities of items and things like that. Mm-hmm. I really want to go into like in depth what's all going to be the core components of getting loot and how the co-op abilities are going to play off of each other as well, right? Because you can see that in some of these trailers, how somebody does something and it kind of is another.
That right there looks cool, man. You throw down that like that AOE thing that kind of just freezes all of them, and then you can just go in guns blazing. That looks like a lot of fun, man. Yeah. I don't know.
It's gonna be good.
Yep, it's gonna be good. Anyways, that is the end of the show, people. Thank you very much for showing up today. Mav, I want to thank you especially. I know we were having some trying times at the beginning there. First 25 minutes of the show, we weren't on because we had to sit there and go through all that technical stuff. But anyway, you made it. Thank you very much for showing up. Tell everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Again, sorry about the trouble earlier. I was trying everything to do I could to get my setup there. I sound different and stuff right now, and we got a different background than we usually do. But yeah. I wouldn't miss being on the show for anything, Fonz, because you are absolutely fantastic. You do an amazing show. You're one of the best people out there in the community, and you're real. 100%, just Fonz all the time, which
Appreciate you.
love as well, man. But if you guys want to check out what we have going on, like I said, we just had our 100th episode of Xbox Ultimate Podcast on Friday. But we have other shows as well. Monday, we have Fun Speculation Podcast on Fun Speculation on YouTube. Also, Thursday, we have PM in the PM. That's with Pong Soul and I at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fun Speculation. And then Fridays, again, is Xbox Ultimate at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then you can always catch me streaming random games all the time, sometimes late at night, sometimes during the day, whenever I can.
That's true.
I just play what I want, and I hope you guys like it and have fun, chill, and hang out. On Twitter, Fun Speculation, everywhere. So appreciate everybody in the chat. Lots of awesome people here showing up. Get it. Amazing chat today.
Yeah. Always. I love my chat, man. I love these guys. Yeah, and speaking of chat real quick, I almost missed a super chat by Jedi Knight Peter. I wasn't going to miss this. He says, happy belated birthday, mate. Thank you very much, Jedi. I appreciate you. One of the guys I do see on the weekends in the party chats. Yeah, so lots of great people that show up to the show. I also see on party chats a lot or hear them in party chats, and we have a great time. Mav, like you said, you're on playing late nights sometimes. You're playing random games and stuff. I see you a lot because I work overnights, and sometimes I'll like look through YouTube and I see there's Mav. He's playing a game. It's pretty cool. Thank you for showing up, and thank you guys in the chat for showing up live. And I want to thank everybody that shows up on demand after the show. Of course, that being here on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you consume your podcast media. Thank you very much for taking the time out to listen to Games Talk Live. And until next time, folks, game on.